Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. Dontae's Boxing Nation, which is Dontae's Biased Boxing Nation, came out, and he had an interesting video come out today. And you have a lot of the fans and things like that coming on the comment section and social media asking me to do a video and address this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to honor the request and just expose what's been going on with Dontae's Biased Nation. Dontae's Biased Nation has been coming out and hating on Canelo Alvarez. And the reason why he's hating on Canelo Alvarez is because, he said something to the effect of, that he's also hating on Triple G as well. And the reason why he's hating on these guys is because, Canelo Alvarez did an interview in which he said Daniel Jacobs will be a very tough fight for him. And he's trying to make it seem as Canelo Alvarez is only able to fight against an older Triple G and be respectable, but against young, hungry fighters, elite level fighters in their prime, it's going to be an issue. This is a direct quote from Dontae's Biased Nation. It's basically the safest fight for Canelo and Triple G is fighting each other. Now, that makes no sense when Triple G beat Danny Jacobs. Even though I had Danny Jacobs possibly winning by a round, you have to understand that that's a very close fight, and that's a very difficult fight to score. And you have to understand that Canelo Alvarez is a better boxer than Triple G, so he's going to present problems to Danny Jacobs that he's never seen, but similar to Canelo. So that's a very dangerous fight for any fighter. He's trying to make the narrative about Canelo and Triple G being less than, while everyone else is on a higher pedestal, and that makes no sense to me. And then he brings in Jermall Charlo and says that Jermall Charlo is more dangerous than Triple G. Canelo feels that Jermall Charlo is more dangerous than Triple G. Now, what sense does that make? Jermall Charlo is the guy who arguably lost to Matt Korobov, who was gifted a decision and robbed Matt Korobov, yet Dontae's Boxing Nation disappeared and went on hiatus for weeks after that, or days at least, because no one could seem to find him after the Matt Korobov loss, because everyone knows Matt Korobov got robbed, because his prized possession, the DBN world champion, Jermall Charlo, got exposed as a hype job, because you should have beat and stopped Matt Korobov in a showcase fight. That's what you should have done, but you didn't do it. And you don't see Dontae's Biased Nation coming out saying that Jermall Charlo needs to do better. He needs to train harder. He needs to develop more. He needs to look for more than just big shots. He needs to focus on his boxing. And he's not even calling for a rematch with Matt Korobov. See, that's the problem with Dontae's Biased Nation. He's too biased. But you can sit back and hate on Canelo and say Canelo feels Jermall Charlo is more dangerous than Triple G. Are you kidding me? Triple G would stop Jermall Charlo within the first 5 rounds, because Jermall Charlo doesn't have the defense, and we don't even know if he has the chin to compete with the level of a fighter such as a Triple G. Dontae's Biased Nation always had an issue with Triple G, and I figured out what that issue is, because I couldn't understand. And the issue that Dontae's Biased Nation has with Triple G is the fact that Dontae's Biased Nation feels like Triple G's resume is weak, and he feels like he's being hyped and pumped up. But these are all things that are true about Jermall Charlo, not Triple G. So I'm assuming that Dontae's Biased Nation must have these names mixed up, because Jermall Charlo's never been a world champion at 160 pounds. Jermall Charlo's never beaten an elite level or top level fighter at 160. Triple G's held multiple belts. He has a win over Danny Jacobs. He has a draw with Canelo Alvarez. He's already accomplished more at 160 than Jermall Charlo can even dream of at this point. We don't even know if Jermall Charlo can beat Matt Korobov. That's the honest and unbiased truth. But the fact that DBN can come out here and hate on Canelo Alvarez and say that Canelo feels that Jermall Charlo is more dangerous than Triple G, he must be out of his mind. And he's just at this point pandering to these fanboys who believe and love Jermall Charlo. He's pushing a PBC narrative, and this is the same narrative that all these fanboys push, because you have to understand that this guy has coincidental lists and things like that. And at the end of the day, these lists are all made to stroke his ego, because he's a PBC fanboy. He's a race-based analyst. So everything comes down to race. Every boxing event to him comes down to race. But at the end of the day, if you can just focus on what's going on in the ring, you can be able to call these fights unbiasedly and honestly. And that's the problem with DBN. He's lost sight of reality. But once again, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.